Yo, diggity dogs, it's me, AJ Beast. Welcome back to another video, and welcome to another weekly episode of Wrestling with Beast, where I go over a couple of things that are going on in the world of professional wrestling, aka mainly WWE. Now, I have started watching AAA recently, and I'm very interested in the product, and I really like the characters down there. I do really love how both El Grande Americanos are treated there, and it just kind of makes me realize how watered down they are on Raw. But anyways, if you are new to the channel, I deeply hope that you subscribe to my channel and join the family, because I'd love for you to join, because I love talking about wrestling with you guys. So leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and also hit that bell so you know when your boy's making videos. I'm going to make a video tomorrow about the Saturday night main event predictions. So hopefully that will be fun. This one's going to be a bit of a shorter video because I mainly just want to talk about main wrestling talking points. One of the main ones, and probably what's in the title, is Randy Orton. Where has he been? And I think we have a couple of news talking about where exactly he has been and what's going on. Basically, he's been working through a back injury, which, if you know his injury history, you'll know that is very concerning coming from a wrestling fan and people around him as perspective with his back issues. So ultimately, I'm a little worried, and it also kind of gives me a bit of a thought process of, is that the real reason? Because we've been told the reason why Randy didn't win at Mania was simply because Pat said that he didn't want to be involved after Mania. But if this injury was known coming into WrestleMania, I think this would have been a more realistic reason as to why Randy didn't win the title, because he knew he was going to step away for a while and, take a little break. But even then, I'm pretty sure he posted something saying that, he'll be back soon. I definitely do think that he will be coming back probably a month before or closer to SummerSlam. I still think that's going to be the SummerSlam match, Cody versus Randy Orton. Ultimately, it doesn't seem like it's a major injury from what Randy himself is saying. He's saying he's gonna come back, so I'm not that worried. And Raw this week actually gave us the answer to where the heck LA Knight is. He is here on Raw. He made 2 appearances. One appearance being from the Usos, because he kind of warned them of, if you start teaming with Roman again, then that's going to become my problem. And I don't want this to become a Bloodline 2.0 situation. And he warned them again, pretty much. And then also later on in the show with Seth Rollins, basically saying how, they say an enemy of the enemy is my friend, but it's not in this case scenario. I hope you get the ass beating that you deserve, pretty much. And, ultimately, I get it. I think the video before, I was upset about the fact that, Seth always has this narrative of he can't be trusted, which is he teamed with Cody Rhodes pretty fine. Last time he was with Dean Ambrose / Jon Moxley, John was the one who portrayed him. So ultimately, more recent times, yes, he's been hard to trust. But other than that, there hasn't been many times where I guess when he attacked Rey Mysterio. That's another one. But it was a betrayal. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Anyways, yes, I do like the narrative of Seth not being trusted by a lot of people in the locker room, even if they weren't even involved with the Vision. At the end of the day, they know that Seth is a traitor. He has grown into it and has stabbed the back of many people that he has teamed with and been trusted with. So ultimately, it's a very interesting situation. What else? Sol Ruka, I think I said that it was going to be an Intercontinental title match at Saturday night's main event, but I'm pretty sure they're just going to have a normal match. That's Sol Ruka and Becky. I don't see any like pay-per-view card stuff for that. So I'm not sure if it's confirmed yet or if it's going to happen. But I don't know. But yeah. What else happened? Clash of the Castle. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther for the WWE title. I'm calling it the WWE title because it's the WWE title. I'm not calling it the Undisputed title. Undisputed titles are titles where you have both of the world titles. Undisputed. You are the only one. Cody is not the only one. It stopped being the Undisputed title the second the World Heavyweight title was introduced. Anyways. Yeah, Royce Keys ended up being like, oh, I want a piece of that. And Gunther was like, So they had a match on SmackDown to see who was going to face Cody, and ultimately Gunther won. With shenanigans, obviously, with Jacob Fatu and stuff like that. No, Solo Sikoa, my bad. But anyways, yeah, I'm excited for this match. Ultimately, I don't really see Gunther winning this match. Sorry. If anyone out there thought that he was going to win, I'm sorry. Clash at the Castle is looking pretty interesting too. Just like I think 2 matches that are been announced since the beginning of all this, and that is this match with Cody and Gunther, and Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu in Tribal Combat. Now we've had 2 of them in the past, which is basically, essentially like bloodline rules. No. See, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure Tribal Combat in most years, or most times it was done, was for the Ula Fala. And the world title also. But it's mainly for that. And Jacob isn't really doing it for that. Well, I mean, he does want to be the world champion but he has expressed that he doesn't want to be the tribal chief. He just wants what the tribal chief has, and that's everything. So ultimately, I'm excited for both matches. I'm very interested to see what the outcome of this match is because Adam Pearce wanted to fire Jacob Fatu. So ultimately, whatever the end result is here, is Adam Pearce going to fire Jacob Fatu? Or is Nick Aldis going to pop in and be like, actually, you can't do that? Because, I don't really see them actually getting rid of Jacob Fatu. Unless he's taking a break. Which I would be completely fine with. And then he returns at some point. Because ultimately, I don't know. Brock Lesnar returned. That's another one that happened. Obafemi came out for his open challenge, and right before he was done doing his pose in the ring, Brock Lesnar came in and just F5'd him and beat him up. Basically saying, this is not over. Paul later being like, yes, he is retired. And he also wants a match against Obafemi at Clash of Italy. I want to say Clash at the Castle so much. It's kind of Clash of the Castle. It's Clash, insert name. Clash in France. Clash in Italy. Clash in... Was it something else too before it was Castle? Or after it was Castle? I don't know. But yes, Brock is back. Very excited to see where this goes. I predicted potentially having a best of 3 match where Brock gets the upper hand against Obafemi and Oba ends up challenging him for WrestleMania. just because I feel like doing it at Clash right after is not the best idea, because Clash is like a week or two after Saturday night's main event. Or wait, no. I'm an idiot. Clash is where they're going to have that bout between each other. I'm an idiot. Forget what I said. Anyways, I mean, Paige and Brie retain the titles. Here's the thing. I have a strong belief that like a couple of these tag teams can finally split up, or at least focus on singles competition. Just because, like, you look at Charlexa, I feel like after this they should just go their separate ways. I mean, I feel like it's too late to do the narrative of one of them turning heel and having a feud. Ultimately, I think there's a perfect spot for Alexa Bliss to be focused on the Women's U.S. title and Charlotte Flair focusing on the Women's World title. Maybe even rehash a Rhea versus Charlotte match. Though the match they had at WrestleMania, classic. So it would be really fun to see that. And Alexa Bliss having a main eventer like Becky Lynch essentially come into the U.S. women's title scene, that would be fun. So ultimately, there's a lot of ideas out there you could have. And ultimately, you need to do that because the only other competitors for like the women's U.S. title is Kiana James, Julia, and I guess Chelsea Green, but she kind of is trying to be Tiffany's friend. So I think ultimately what's going to happen is they're going to have a tag team, and they're going to be in the tag team division. Kiana and Julia kind of did what I wanted a lot of the other tag teams to do, and that's focus on singles and tag team titles gold, because I remember them challenging for the tag team belts. So I don't know why Charlotte, Alexa, Nia Jax, even Lash Legend, I don't know why they couldn't face off against the Women's Intercontinental Champ, the Women's United States Champion, and other, the Women's World Champion. It doesn't make sense. Like, there's been times, I always bring up Montez Ford, but there are several other instances where a tag team wrestler, mostly known for being a tag team wrestler, even people who are in a tag team that, two-man power trip, I guess you could say. What was the two-man power trip? Stone Cold and Triple H having the WWE title, Intercontinental title respectively, and holding the tag team titles. Basically holding all the gold. That's cool. And I also feel like Fatal Influence is going to do that. Also, can I just say, before I get into Saturday night's main event tomorrow, I want to say this right now. That 6-woman tag team match happening on that show, storyline-wise, makes sense. But I feel like Fatal Influence versus Rhea Charlexa should have happened on Saturday night's main event over this. I feel like this should have been on SmackDown. Like, it should have literally been switched. But, hey, storyline-wise, it makes more sense to be on the pay-per-view than Fatal Influence. But I'm really interested to see where Rhea is going to go from here when it comes to her feuds. Because I definitely feel like what could happen, and I've even, thought about it, with, JC Jane and Jade Cargill getting a title shot against Rhea. So that would be interesting. I'm sorry that this was more of a ramble. Honestly, I've just been a bit on edge with the heat and everything. I don't like heat at all. I love when it's cold. When it's cold, it is the best weather. But yeah, those are the main things I wanted to talk about. There's not many other things. Also, EO and what's his face? I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. I'll pop it up on screen. But yeah, they got married, which is pretty cool. I'd say I love that. Love that for couple. I did hear about. I think he was dating Kyrie at some point, long ago. I don't think it was recent, but yeah, I remember people saying that, something about that. I think people were like speculating if that was the reason why Kyrie left, and I don't really like doing that. We're not gonna do speculate. Although I would love to do what like some, it'd be fun. I would love to do what ifs. Doing like fantasy booking. I love fantasy booking. I grew up watching Adam Blumpier's How I Would Book series on several different channels. He still does it today, so it's really cool seeing those because I love seeing people make like how I would book these, and ultimately they're going to be better because you don't have to worry about injuries going on. You don't have to worry about what the crowd thinks because at the end of the day, WWE does exactly the same thing essentially. And, they pivot whether the crowd likes it or doesn't. Or they just don't do that. And they're just like, we're finishing the story. I don't care if they like it. But anyways, sorry about the rant. And I love you guys. I hope you bear with me. Tomorrow's video will be way more structured than this one. This one was kind of just much of a rant session about just things going on in WWE. I didn't want to be like this, because the last time I did that, it kind of was a mess. And I didn't really feel the energy. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you have a great day or night, whatever time you're watching. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new because join the family because we're all about love and wrestling here. We all love wrestling. We all love WWE. Sometimes out of, anger. But love is love at the end of the day. And I hope you guys have a great day and night, like I said. And with that being said, yo diggity dogs, AJ Beast is out.